He's, I think, gone against the Todd Monken run team or last couple of years. How much has that kind of come up during the game planning this week? Just his past experiences with it.
Well, it's I guess you would say come up quite a bit because they played them last year, just like we did. So there are two games that basically everybody in the room has seen Southern Miss in the last year.
What's it like for you? You know, it kind of seems like every year you face a team that you've formerly coached on. You know, what's it like? You know, when you face a team that you're so familiar with.
Well, it's it's I guess you have a lot of things. One is that you know a lot of the kids there, that you recruited, or that some of our players on our team were actually teammates with some of the players on their team. Kids from Bassfield and local kids from that area that we may have recruited during the past for years. So there's a lot of familiarity. Anytime you play an in-state, anytime you play an in-state team that's close and a close rival.
With your guys, you kind of got both ends of the spectrum with a lot of experience and then a lot of new guys like Brandon and Jamal and Mark. How have those older guys kind of taken them, under their wing and try to prepare them for what's coming?
Sure. Time those kids hit campus back in June, our older kids immediately adopted them or covered them and started teaching them the way that we do things in the program, and it's made a big difference in those young kids growing and maturing up to this point.
Along those same lines, I mean, just trying to figure out when to get people in game situations if they're going to play for a freshman. How you make that decision of you want them to have some meaningful snaps, but you also don't want to scare them too much too early?
Sure, and the most important thing, Coach Mullen talks about this all the time, we won't put a kid in a situation until we feel like he's ready and that he feels that he's ready. Because the last thing you want is put him in a situation and something doesn't go well, and now you got a confidence factor that you got to deal with, other than just the learning curve where they're just trying to learn what to do, but also how to do it.
Coach Diaz said that besides Coach Monken's own philosophies and what he does, they've got some Malzahn-type elements in their offense now. What do you see from Southern Miss?
Yeah, you can see that. You can see that from last year a little bit. How much of it is going to change and continue to be Coach Monken's, offense. You really don't know. That's the unknown of playing. And so, like Coach Diaz says, I guess they've got the right to change if they want to.
Last year, the defense was so good against the run until those final two games at Ole Miss and Georgia Tech. What did you see that happened, and how was it fixed for this season?
Well, part of that is, that's our philosophy. In order to be good, to win football games, and nowadays I know everybody runs the spread and the no huddle and the tempo offenses, but it all comes back to running the football, and you have to be able to stop the run and be more efficient against the run. And when you go back, Georgia Tech was one of the most efficient run teams in the country, and when you go back, in the past, that's something that we've always prided ourselves on, is stopping the run. So that's going to be a priority for us.
I think Ryan Brown was saying this. So it just seemed like maybe they lost discipline, they lost focus. Did that show up on tape when you went back and looked at it?
Well, again, the Georgia Tech is a different style of offense. That's a totally different thing than any of our kids have ever seen in their life, and some of them may not ever see the wishbone again. Somebody asked me the other day, said, what's the difference in like NFL? Well, all NFL teams get in a huddle, they line up, and they run the ball right at you. Where in college, it's the run, the bubble screens and things like that dictate the tempo, and they try to spread you out really to run the ball, and that's the key element for us. We have to stop the run in order to be effective on defense.
What do you remember kind of about your time at Southern Miss?
It was a great experience. Of course, I went to school there, played there, graduated from there, met my wife there, and working with Coach Fedora when he first started the program. And it was a pleasant experience, a chance to go back home and coach at your alma mater, which, a lot of people always, have a dream of doing. So I was able to do that, which, something I enjoyed at the time.